Carol Burnett, the woman beloved across America for her warm smile and charming humor, has long been considered the kindest lady in Hollywood. Yet after decades of maintaining a calm and graceful image, she has recently stunned the public. In her 90s now, during a rare interview with Rolling Stone, Carol Burnett candidly recalled the men she disliked the most in her life. These weren't strangers, they were men who had once held crucial roles in both her career and personal life. Some had betrayed her through infidelity and disputes over shared assets. Others used their influence to exclude her from major shows like SNL for decades. One younger man even mocked her image in a questionable scene, forcing Burnett to take legal action. So who were the men that left the legendary television icon so deeply hurt? And which one did she truly never forgive? Harvey Korman, a fierce argument on set that led Burnett to fire him. Amid the bright lights of 1970s television, where every laugh translated to ratings and ad contracts, the Carol Burnett Show reigned supreme. At its heart stood Carol Burnett and Harvey Korman, a duo so in sync that audiences believed they were born to perform together. Burnett was the soul of the show, while Korman was the bridge that made everyone laugh. But behind the applause and laughter, a storm was quietly brewing, one that would shatter a decade-long friendship. By 1974, the show had reached its 7th season. Ratings were at their peak, CBS had renewed it for 3 more years, and the crew had just won their 4th Emmy. Yet that same year, cracks began to form between Burnett and Korman. Costume designer Bob Mackie recalled that Korman had become grumpy, short-tempered, and even avoided Carol backstage. Some said he felt overshadowed by Burnett, fearing her fame eclipsed his own growing recognition. The conflict erupted one April afternoon at Studio 33 Television City, Los Angeles. The crew was rehearsing an episode featuring guest singer Petula Clark, who had just flown in from London. During Korman's scene, a lighting error left his face in shadow. He suddenly stopped mid-scene, threw his script to the floor, and shouted, "After all these years, can't anyone get it right?" Everyone froze. Director Dave Powers tried to calm him, but Korman continued complaining that even Carol doesn't notice. That line hit Burnett like a knife. She'd always led her team with kindness and respect. Burnett, seated quietly in the audience, stood up and walked to the stage. Without raising her voice, she looked at him and said clearly, "Harvey, I've had enough. If you can't respect everyone here, you don't need to be here anymore." The entire studio fell silent. According to Bob Mackie's book, Even More Laughs, you could hear a microphone drop. Korman stared at Burnett for a moment, then walked off. No one followed. That afternoon, the cameraman later recalled Burnett sat alone on set for over 30 minutes. She looked at Korman's empty chair and quietly told the director, "I didn't want it to end this way, but he went too far." Just hours later, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner ran the headline, "Harvey Korman leaves the Carol Burnett Show during rehearsal." CBS declined to comment, but rumors spread fast. Some reporters at Variety claimed that Burnett lost her patience after months of tension with Korman. Over the next 3 days, Hollywood buzzed non-stop. Burnett's close friend, Vicki Lawrence, tried reaching Corman, but he stayed silent. Burnett kept filming as usual, never mentioning his name. A crew member described her as calm, but visibly weary. Then on Wednesday morning, CBS received a call. It was Harvey Korman. He simply told the assistant, "I need to talk to Carol." When Burnett picked up, his voice trembled. "I was wrong. I want to come back." The next day, he appeared at the team's morning meeting. Everyone watched in silence as he apologized to the crew, then turned to Burnett. "I forgot why I started." Burnett smiled, stepped forward, and hugged him. The studio erupted in applause. But those who were there knew something had permanently changed. Corman stayed on the show until 1967, then quietly departed. Burnett remained in touch, though their friendship was never the same. In a 1983 Entertainment Tonight interview, when asked about Corman, she said softly, "Harvey made me laugh more than anyone else, and gave me the biggest headaches." The incident, later dubbed the Studio 33 blow-up, became one of CBS's most famous behind-the-scenes stories, a reminder of how fragile creative partnerships can be when egos clash. Afterward, Burnett grew stronger, more professional, but also more guarded. She stopped letting emotions interfere with work. Yet the turbulence in her life didn't end there. Joe Hamilton, her ex-husband's betrayal, and the battle over their shared legacy. Behind the dazzling lights of the Carol Burnett Show, which made television history, was a marriage quietly falling apart between Carol Burnett and Joe Hamilton. Once hailed as CBS's golden couple, their partnership created joy for millions. But that same world of laughter slowly turned into one of silence and pain. Their story began in 1960, when Burnett was a young performer on The Gary Moore Show. Joe Hamilton, already a seasoned producer, had worked on The Steve Allen Show and The Colgate Comedy Hour. 10 years her senior, he was calm, sophisticated, and experienced. They met during a CBS taping in New York. Burnett later recalled that he looked at me in a way that made me feel I truly mattered. 3 years later, they married in a small California ceremony, attended only by close friends and colleagues. By 1967, when the Carol Burnett Show premiered, Hamilton had taken charge behind the scenes as producer, mentor, and partner. For years, they were the perfect creative duo. She brought the warmth, he provided structure. But immense success can strain even the strongest bond. Costume designer Bob Mackie remembered that by 1975, Hamilton had begun asserting more control. He insisted on approving guest lists and script content before Burnett saw them. In one meeting, he suggested cutting down emotional scenes and focusing solely on humor. Burnett disagreed, saying viewers need both heart and laughter. It was the start of growing creative and personal distance. As work pressure increased, Hamilton became more absent from home. At first, Burnett assumed it was due to new projects. Then came whispers. In August 1979, TV Guide hinted at a veteran producer entangled in a private relationship within a Los Angeles editing suite. Names weren't mentioned, but insiders knew. Crew members said Hamilton was often seen with a young CBS editor at the Soho House restaurant near the studio. Burnett didn't confront him immediately, but her close friend Vicki Lawrence later said Burnett broke down after overhearing two colleagues discuss Joe's